We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider Rapid Reactions edition after Carolina cruises by Miami 92-73 in the Smith Center today. Miami hit the first shot of the game to lead 3-0. Then the Tar Heels made a basket to make it 3-2. Eventually, Carolina grabbed the lead pretty shortly after that and never relinquished it. Heels led by 15 at halftime, by as many as 21, and win by 19. Jones and Adam here with you. Rapid Reactions edition of the show presented by Modelo. Adam, this was a very just kind of Carolina did what it needed to do in this game, and I don't know much more other than that. I mean, Carolina is better than Miami. Miami's had a really difficult year. They're on an interim coach. Personnel, they're missing three guys who have played significant time at different points of the season for them today and will not qualify for the ACC tournament. So it's been a long year for the Canes, and the Tar Heels just kind of went out and did what they needed to do, which was outclass Miami this afternoon.
It's rare that you get to use the old gifted and talented line in an ACC game. But I do think that was the case here. Of course, Roy Williams used to always say that about some of those non-conference Tar Heel wins when Carolina was just clearly better. Carolina is clearly better than Miami. And to the Tar Heels' credit, after a little bit of a sluggish start, which I'm sure we'll talk about, they corrected some of those issues and I think cruised, as you said, was the right word.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a competitive game. About 12 minutes in, the Tar Heels had led by 10, but then Miami had gotten it down to 4 a couple of times and hit a 3, and Hubert Davis very frustratedly took a timeout. Not happy. I'll talk to Coach Davis. You'll see that interview in a minute. Adam talked to Vin Allen Lubin, who led 6 Tar Heels in double figures with 19 points. Hubert Davis was not happy with the defensive effort at that point in time. Carolina closed the half much better. Miami made 2 of its last 11 shots, turned it over a couple of times in there as well. That allowed the Heels to get that lead out to 15, and it was between 15 and 20 for a large majority of the second half.
It never felt like Carolina felt like it was threatened, and it never felt like the crowd felt like Carolina was threatened. And I'm not sure Miami ever felt like Carolina was threatened. Everyone seemed to have a very clear understanding of what was happening. Carolina was going to win by 20. The Tar Heels might possibly get close to biscuits, which might excite people. And then the game was going to be over. And that's what happened.
Individually, Vin Allen Lubin had 19, Adam, and I believe it was 14 of those 19 came in the second half. And he did what Vin Allen Lubin does, and that is he's very efficient around the basket, scoring in different ways, and just done a really nice job finishing for a large majority of this season.
9 for 10 from the field, and knock on wood, he's catching the ball better right now. Some of these catches on passes from Elliot Cadeau are plays he might not have made maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But right now he's converting. He gives Carolina a weapon in there, makes defenses be aware.
One thing Tyler Hansbrough said, and who was on the radio call, I think Tyler knows a thing or two about post play, is he said what he really liked about Vin Allen Lubin is that he never rushed it. He said he felt like he always, not that he was slow, but that he was just deliberate in what he was doing, and you never felt like he got hurried. And you see that a lot actually when he dunks it with guys like trying to block it from behind at the last second. He doesn't seem to let anyone else speed him up down there.
His shot chart reminds me of what I imagine Brendan Haywood's shot chart must have used to have looked like 25 years ago now, where everything is in a very tight little arc around the rim, but they go in.
Mentioned 6 guys in double figures. I just want to quickly mention 2 others. That's Drake Powell, who again was uber impactful, had 16 points and 6 rebounds in this game. And also Jalen Withers, who again was a quality performer, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, no turnovers, and just found different ways to help Carolina be successful.
And there have been times this year where when Jalen Withers is impactful, he's shooting threes like you saw in that first highlight. That play where he takes the ball to the basket, he had one really good effort play over near midcourt where he chased down a defensive rebound. He passed up an open 3 and threw it to a teammate. I think it was Lubin for an even easier basket in the second half. Like, those are basketball plays. Those aren't just Jalen Withers just standing around shooting threes. He's been a very good basketball player here during this stretch.
So really a team-oriented performance for Carolina today. Second straight game and third time this year that Carolina's had 6 players in double figures. They nearly got 7. Cadeau finished with 9 points in the game. All right, let's get to our interviews. I talked to Hubert Davis. Adam talked to Vin Allen Lubin. Those 19 points that we mentioned are a season high for Lubin. We'll get to those conversations, come back after that to wrap things up on a Rapid Reactions edition of the Carolina Insider presented by Modelo. We are inside the Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Carolina leads by 15 at the half, as many as 21 in the game, and wins by 92-73. And I'm with the head coach of the Heels, Hubert Davis, inside that Continental Tire Coach's Corner. Coach, just felt like kind of a workman-like performance from your team today. 7 guys with 9 points or more, plus 12 on the glass. Just an efficient win for the Tar Heels this afternoon.
Yeah, I do. I thought it was an efficient win. Anytime playing in the ACC, it's just conference play is just always difficult, whether it's home or on the road. And I felt good about our approach in terms of what we were doing, especially from an offensive standpoint. I felt like defensively, at times we could have done better, and I stressed a number of times that, the things that the boxes that we have to check is defense, rebounding, and taking care of the basketball. We were shooting the ball really well today. There's times where you're not going to shoot the ball well, and so what allows you to be sustainable against any opponent is being able to get stops defensively, being able to rebound and take care of the basketball. And I think we did a good enough job, not the best, but a good enough job today to be able to pull out a win against Miami.
It was a 4 or 5 point game in the first half, and you called a timeout, something you don't do a ton. The rest of that half, Miami was 2 of 11 from the field and had 2 turnovers as well. I'm guessing defense was addressed in that timeout?
It was. I just felt like, Miami was scoring at will, whether it was uncontested threes, drives to the basket, second chance opportunities, putback. That's just not sustainable. And, yes, and the thing that we talked about throughout the whole week, yes, individually and as a team, you talked about we have 6 guys in double figures again. We're having success. Those are the times that you have to dive even deeper to the discipline and details to allow yourself to continue to be successful. It's not those times where you take a deep breath and let loose of the grip. You got to grab it even harder. And so those are things that we talked about all week, and I just felt like leading up to that timeout, we weren't doing that.
46 points in the paint, 38-26 rebound advantage. Second chance points were about even in this one. Miami maybe had a few more than you wanted in the second half, but another good game as far as the paint is concerned for your group.
Yeah, it's something that we stress. We stress dominating points in the paint through post penetration and offensive rebounds. And over the last 2.5, 3 weeks, last 5 games, we've been really good at that. And so that's huge for us. We've got we're an inside-outside team, and when we do that, that allows us to be even more efficient, getting to the free throw line, and also knocking down 3-pointers.
It's hard to believe because there's just a week left in the regular season. What do you like about what's happening right now with your team, and where do you want to tighten in on some of those details here for this final week?
Yeah, it is a week left, and I think we're improving, we're getting better. Just sustained energy, effort, attention to detail. That's just all year long. That's something that we've talked about. Not having 3-4 minute lapses in terms of taking care of the basketball, not boxing out, not finishing the possession with a rebound. And so those are things that we'll continue to work on and continue to stress, especially moving forward, playing at Virginia Tech on Tuesday.
That's coming up Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. We'll see Coach Davis then, but for now, we'll say thank you for your time, Coach, and congratulations, 92-73 the final.
All right, thanks a lot, Jones. I appreciate it.
That's Hubert Davis, guys, Continental Tire, Coach's Corner.
Alongside Vin Allen Lubin, after Carolina drubs Miami really by 19, But now this is a tough game to play because everybody knows Miami's at the bottom of the standings. What was the message in practice this week as the Tar Heels got ready for this one?
It's really just trying to focus on our preparation. No matter who the team we play, it's really just about us. Just coming into the game and just being prepared and just being ready to just give it our all. Just giving max effort and energy every time.
That max effort and energy has really turned into a much higher output for you over the last 2-3 weeks or so. Season high 19 today. How are you getting these looks?
It's really all credit, to God and to my teammates. They're, guys give me the ability just to go out there and play, keep me healthy, and also obviously my teammates, just to find me at the right moments. The ball wouldn't find me if it wasn't for them. So it's really just credit to those two.
Some of the time it finds you because you're working hard on that offensive glass. There was a time this year the Tar Heels weren't getting many second chance points. Now 4 games in a row, over 15 second chance points in each of those games. How are you being effective going to the offensive glass?
Yeah, it means a lot just to give us some more opportunities at the rim. Just what Coach always emphasizes, and that's something that can also help me out for me to be more impactful for the team. Just to go to the offensive glass and get second chance opportunities. And so I've been really helping us out to really extend leads like this game and the past few games that we had.
Team-wide, this was a team that was struggling to even score 75 back in January. Now you've got over 95 games in a row. Why is the offense working so much better right now?
I think it's just because we're taking the good shots and taking care of the ball. I think previously we were kind of struggling and, taking care of the ball and finding the right shots. But now we really, been more intentional about it. Been putting, more attention into it and just, trying to find the right shots and taking care of the basketball.
It was a 31-27 lead in the first half. Coach Davis called a timeout that we don't usually see him call. He looked like he had some defensive pointers, perhaps. What was his message in that timeout?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just that they don't feel us on the defensive end. They just feel like they can get the shots whatever they want, and just we gotta be more of a defensive presence and making them feel us and making tough shots. He just said that we know we can do it, and we haven't seen it yet. So he wants us to start.
Where can things get even better? Obviously, this team is playing well right now, but still 2 important regular season games left. What can you do even better?
Just continue to pay attention to small details, being intentional, discipline on offense and defensive end, and just to give max effort on both ends of the floor.
Max effort today from Van Allen Lubin leads to a season high 19 points. Van Allen, thanks so much.
Thank you.
So the Tar Heels now 19-11 overall. They are 12-6 in conference play and winners of 5 in a row, longest win streak of the season. Carolina continues to be in the mix for a potential double bye in at the ACC tournament. As Adam and I are recording this, both SMU and Wake Forest and Stanford as well throw the Cardinal in the mix. All those teams still play later today, which will affect some of those standings. In fact, Stanford and SMU play one another out on the West Coast. So, Adam, again, Carolina kind of did what it needed to do, but still continued to do some of the things that have helped it be successful here recently, most notably shoot the ball well, rebound at a high clip, and again, just did enough to get by Miami, which didn't provide a ton of resistance.
And we understand the competition in this stretch has not been what it was at other times this year, but I do think Carolina is playing better basketball. They are doing things that would translate if they were getting any opportunities against those better teams. But I think people are overlooking Virginia Tech just a little bit. Louisville went to Blacksburg this week and struggled but did get the win. The Hokies are not the type of team Miami was. They're going to be a solid opponent, especially when you don't know how close of attention are people paying to them when they're also thinking about Duke.
Seeing some of those three-pointers that Carolina reined in during this win, that was another part of it. Tar Heels continue to shoot the ball well. They were 10 of 18 from 3 in this game. Miami came in last in the country in three-point percentage defense, and it looked like that today as the Tar Heels got a lot of open looks and knocked them down as they win their 5th consecutive game. Yeah, Blacksburg's a hard place to play. That'll be a tough game. Virginia Tech came from a big deficit and won in overtime at home against Syracuse today, so they'll be excited to try and build off of that as the Tar Heels come to town on Tuesday night. But for today, we'll say goodbye. And Carolina wins it against Miami, 92-73. We'll close up shop here on a rapid reactions edition of the Carolina Insider presented by Modelo.